How many stores do you have at the moment currently?
So in Turkey, we have four. This is the fifth one. And then across Europe, we have around 11 distributors.
Wow,
Not shops, but other shops that sell our pieces. Now we're looking to open one in Dubai.
Yeah.
In the next year.
America at all?
Yes, I definitely want to have something in the States. Hopefully in the next 5 years. That's my goal.
And do you see it being more stores or more like quite boutique-y, quite areas like?
It doesn't necessarily have to be stores. I mean, in Europe, we have distributors.
Yeah.
For me, the most important thing is to get our pieces out there to as many countries as we can.
What would be your kind of perfect scenario, like getting your piece on a celebrity or someone famous or someone royal? Like who would be your dream? Like, this is where I want my piece to sit.
We've worked with a lot of celebrities. For example, Claudia Schiffer used to be one of our brand ambassadors. We worked with her. But now I find, especially in the last couple of years, our biggest clients were people that actually are turned off from too much PR. They want a brand that's almost exclusive to them.
Yeah.
So, these things like celebrity endorsements, working with influencers, they're not really our biggest clients aren't attracted to that.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
Certain members of royal family, for example,
Yeah.
they don't want that. They don't want a brand that everyone is going to know. They want something unique and something special.
Yeah. That makes 100%
I think
sense.
that quiet luxury within kind of billions.
They prefer to have
an
an intimate relationship with their jeweler, basically.
Yeah. And you don't want the average Love Islander influence in it. Yeah, I can say that.
It's okay, Kurt. You can say it.
You said it, not me.
Say it.
You said it.
He says it because he's been on there.
I can say that. Do you do? You actually do? You said you do obviously functional jewelry and stuff, from like a ring into a necklace or bangle bracelet. Can you do a bracelet into a necklace? Do you do something like that? I love my bracelets.
Bracelet into a choker is actually what I'm working on right now. It's proven to be very difficult. We haven't succeeded yet.
Can you talk a little bit about it? What's actually
proven
to be a bit?
I thought, firstly, we already do. We have rings that become bracelets. I thought, what if we play with this idea more? What if we have bracelets that can become tiaras or they can become chokers?
Yeah.
Necklace would be difficult, maybe, but.
Because in my head, what I visualized was just obviously it's something that you could wrap around 3 times, and obviously unwrap it, then it's long enough to stick as a necklace. But
yes, in that case, I mean, no mechanics is needed. You just have to adjust the length.
I'm very basic there.
I know. You've just gone for a long rope.
For example, even this necklace I'm wearing, you can actually tie it a bit more and use it as a bracelet. But I thought applying the same mechanics we use for the ring bracelets, you asked me. For that is proven to be a bit more arduous. But, for example, a long necklace, as you said, you can always...
And is that due to sizing, to be able to actually take it from
that size to this size? Yeah.
12 centimeters to 20 foot? Is that sheer mechanics from size?
Yes, and it's very intricate. It was very difficult.
So there's a lot of small parts, isn't it, to be able to...
There's that, and also the process itself. To create one piece that does that, it takes a long time.
Because within your pendants, the one thing that I love is the way that you can actually, the rotation of them and change.
Pendants,
kind of like going from one color diamond to, or just literally covering them. Like that's for me.
So then when you buy one of those, for example, essentially you're buying 3 pieces in one.
Yeah.
You're buying a necklace that has a single diamond. You twist it on a different occasion. Now you have a necklace that has a ruby face. To a different occasion, you twist it again. Oh, now it's sapphires. So, it's that multifunctionality that I love about our brand.
It's that James Bond number plate that
It's
keeps
a party
spinning.
trick.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I love that.
It's literally a party trick. And I think in that sort of level of kind of status where you go to certain places, like people want to talk about that new thing that kind of like, oh, I don't have that, or my friends have got that.
Or no one else has.
100%. And do you find like in them settings that you can like, oh, actually sell many pieces there? You're like, oh, actually, well, this one's for sale. Have you ever taken one off your neck and be like, you know what, you can purchase the one right now off my neck?
On the spot, you mean?
Yeah, on the spot sale.
I've had, this has happened to me so many times, but I try to refrain from that because I try not to sell for my own personal collection, although it happened once, and it was to a very close friend.
Yes.
But for example...
That's all right, and it's
it was a very close
different
friend, that's why. But
yeah.
to a new customer, I would never do that.
Yes.
Because whenever you wear jewelry, there's a certain wear and tear that goes into it. And I would want a client to buy a piece that's
quality,
completely new and never been used before.
Yeah.
So, no, in general, I would refrain from that. I wouldn't want to sell on the spot. But what happens very often with me is people, I get complimented for the pieces that I'm wearing, and they want to buy it the next day.
Yeah.
So then when that happens, for example, I say, yeah, of course, we have this on the website or we have this in the shop. They come in the next day and they buy straight away. We've made a lot of sales, I would say, through the pieces that I wear, actually.
Through you walking and talking.
So you're a business card, basically. You literally are your brand's business card.
I am.
What you do.
Yeah.
Talking about you
works.
as your PR through moving around, talking, walking. What's the best bit of PR that you've had so far? Because you've been featured in multiple magazines, but what's the one that you've been like, okay, I'm very happy with this. I think I know what you're going to say, but
My opinion is the best PR, especially if you are the face of your brand, are your personal contacts, the people that you yourself meet. I mean, this has proven to be the case. I've worked with many PR agencies. We've worked with different magazines, different press outlets, which have proven to be beneficial, of course.
Yes. What's the best magazine you've worked with for you, or your highlight of a magazine?
For me,
I mean, they're all amazing, obviously. If
they're all
listening,
amazing.
yeah.
They're all amazing, and they were all very prestigious. But for me, the one that made me happiest, I would say, was to be featured in Vogue.
Oh yeah, okay, it's quite good. I'll give you
we
that.
were featured in their jewelry section.
Yeah.
I believe 2 months ago for the month of July.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that was an accomplishment for me. Yeah.
Vogue's
But-
a
But
big
we've
one.
also been featured in other big name magazines, Vanity Fair. We've been featured in GQ. All these magazines, it meant a tremendous lot to me. It's a stepping stone for the brand. To see your brand be represented in such big name
So
press
to
outlets.
get into these magazines, did they approach you then? How did that work? How did that all come about?
Yes, yeah,
They just
they
all
actually
approached you,
found us from our feature. I mean, Vogue, for example, they found our brand from a feature in another magazine,
Yeah.
and that's how they approached us. Yeah.
So, like, one thing, obviously, as you said, which is most important, is your personal circles, the way you move, like who you talk to. Do you find that kind of growing that is the only way that you're going to kind of keep it? It's hard. Like, you want to obviously build a brand that everybody knows about, but at the same time, you want to keep a brand that's quiet. And,
Yeah, but I
and
think
In my
in my personal
they're
experience,
so individual as pieces. So even if 6 billion people, every single person on the planet had one, they're all going to be individual and
But
unique.
it's surely a hard decision for you to be like, okay, I don't want just to have Cartier. Let's take, everyone knows Cartier. Everybody knows what their love bracelet is. Like, everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry's got one. Like, but you want to grow, but you don't want to like create something that everybody's got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to be selling pieces that everyone out on the street is going to have, because then the brand loses its exclusivity. Like you said, Cartier, for example. But I would say different things, different outlets of PR affect different sides of the business. For walking clients, we found that things like press articles, magazine features, Instagram ads, they were the ones that were pulling in our new walking clients. But for example, for bespoke pieces or pieces that have a slightly higher price point, these came from mostly my personal contacts.
Yeah.
So both are important. They kind of balance each other out, I would say.
Do you do a lot of hosting for clients that kind of obviously come in? You have got a beautiful store here, but a lot of the time it's more than that. They don't just want to come in. They want to go for dinner. They want the full experience, don't they?
Yes, we do that. Yeah. I don't always get to attend all of them, but if it's someone that I know personally myself, I try to. Because I'm also very involved in the design process myself. For example, if it's a bespoke appointment, I try to be present in the appointment myself as well, because I also guide the designer, and I also try to guide the client as well. On what we can do, what we could possibly do more, and such forth. So because I play a part in the design process, I try to be present.
Do people sometimes come in and literally just say to you, design me something, here's my budget,
Yes.
give me something? Yeah. I don't want the hassle of doing it. You
Is
do
that
it.
your best day?
Yeah.
That must be the best day ever.
Yeah, it sounds like Christmas when you hear that.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah,
I do. I do, especially, for example, this happened to me a few times when I was out. People have come up to me and say, I love what you do. Please, I want this piece. Or I want you, not any design, I want you to design me something. And it's very flattering to hear.
Yeah.
It's...
What, is it kind of, do people think that, are you a designer? Do people ask you like your background a lot of time? Because sometimes you see people run a business, but it doesn't mean that they're actually the heart and soul of it. But with you, it's kind of like, well, actually, you'd be honored to actually put a bit of your personality in there.
They do. People do ask me if I design myself. I don't design myself. I don't draw the pieces myself. But what happens is our design team creates different renders for me.
Yeah.
Then I sit down with them, we go through them, and I approve or I disapprove.
You do the adaptation.
I get the final say on what the appearance is like. But before we get to that stage, they show me a bunch of different options. Or what happens is I tell them my ideas, similar to our bespoke process. I sit down with them and I tell them exactly what's going through my mind, how I want it to look, and then they draw it for me, and we go from there.
I just love it. I'm actually lost for words in that sort of aspect.
Yeah. I have a piece in my mind which I would love to, in the future, come to you and get made. It would be a necklace, and it would be something spinning round. And it'd be about my nan. She loved frogs, and green frog, anything green.
Oh, like a hidden.
I would guess a hidden little all diamonds around the outside.
It's just
gold.
The subconscious curse, because that screen over there keeps revealing that
It
perfect
does.
hidden
It
diamond.
really, really
And every
does.
time I see it, I'm kind of like, oh,
you guys need one.
That's
that's
brilliant.
I will come to you at some point in the future.
Of course, I would love that.
Okay, I want to talk about the investment. Obviously, it's very much an investment into this location. We're in Knightsbridge, we're at the heart of London. There's no doubt about it. Like, what's the biggest investment that you've made into the company, more than just your time? And because I feel like that's one thing that people underestimate. Like, you're launching a business, you work 24/7. Your phone's always on, especially with you. Your contacts are all over the world. Yeah. You don't really have a time zone, that's for sure.
The two biggest investments I've made, firstly, it was acquiring new machinery to our factory.
Yes.
Machinery for jewelry can be very, very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And what sort of equipment is that? Is that like diamond cutting machines or like?
No, it was an equipment for gemstone cutting, and mounting as well. So
does that take lasers then? Is that like a laser that cuts through that? Is it?
Laser is one of the ways. Yes,
yeah.
It's one of the methods. The second one was I hired 3 new designers for the upcoming collection, because that's one of the things that really keeps the brand young and fresh. I feel like as a brand or even as an artist, you constantly have to reinvent yourself. Yeah. Otherwise, it gets boring.
Yeah.
So I did that. And the investment thankfully paid off.
So do you sometimes bring designers on for just like a set period of time when there's a new collection coming out, and then see you later, next one's in for the next collection?
We do. So when we work with a designer, it's not we don't necessarily have to hire them on a payroll and then they just work for us. We also work with different designers just for a certain piece, or just for a certain time period, certain collection. We work with them in different ways.
And do you highlight that this is, for example, within your piece, I always kind of look, it's not like, you don't highlight this as one of one, but most of the time, like, you're looking like, oh, actually, no, this is like one of one. Do you like to number your things, or do you like to be open?
So besides our signature collections, we have around 5 signature collections.
Yeah.
Every single other piece besides that is one-off only.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty cool
good.
to be able to say that, to be fair.
No, in a day and age when profits usually
unless, for example, a client sees it on another client and they really want the exact same piece.
Yeah.
We try not to, and we try to guide them away from it. But if they're really adamant, then yes. Sometimes we can have 3 or 4 of the same piece.
Yeah.
But essentially, all of our pieces, aside from the signature collections, are one-offs.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. That was Freedomimpact Trust. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've loved chatting once again. Please leave a comment below, because it really helps the algorithm and helps get the podcast out there. And also, let us know if there's any financial questions which you want answering, and we can answer them in the pod next week. Like I said, share, like, comment, subscribe, and let everybody know about the podcast.
And thank you to our sponsors, FINT, the financial investment app, where you can invest from as little as £50 a month.
£50?